right, guys, so let's begin. We're going to talk about one of my favorite topics in February. February to me is a month that the rest of the year. February is the month that we find all our money for the rest of the year. And what I mean by that is we all have a database. Everybody nod their head, say yes. So let's deal with my wonderful Carla. Carla, can you be the spokesperson for the group for just a hair, because you're really professional and you'll do a great job.
Sure.
Carla, in your database, because you run two wonderful offices, one in South Carolina and one in Tennessee, combined, what is your total database?
Well, including vendors and everybody that I threw in there for no reason, probably 2,500.
Let's cut that down to 1,000. It's simpler math, because at 2,500, for a lot of the people that are going to watch this either live now or on YouTube, etc., that number can get too big. So we're going to say 1,000. Would it be fair to say that between Memphis and South Carolina, can we just for argument's say that the average person moves every 10 years?
Yeah.
And I think that's probably closer to what's happening, Carla, because you're an experienced agent. You know that with COVID and the 2.6% interest rates, many of our database people refinance their home at 3% or less. And Carla, have you noticed they ain't moving?
I'm not either.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that they refinance it. So first thing we want to do is throughout our database, try to identify those past clients that refinance their house, because it's a hard move to go from 2.7 to 7%. Okay. So out of the 1,000 people, people are now moving on average every 10 years. What is 1,000 divided by 10?
Last year it was 100.
It isn't. And with inflation, we're just going to keep it at 100 this year. So Carla, the first thing I want you to do is to understand with your 1,000 past clients in Sphere, your database, there's 100 commissions available to you in the next 10 months.
You think that's
100 of
true?
those people will move in the next 12 months. When you call those 1,000 people next February, 100 people will be at a new address, won't they?
Hmm.
Now, that's tough for us to swallow because most of us don't believe it. But all you have to do is physically go outside of your house, look up and down the street. Did somebody sell in the last year? It's real numbers, guys. They're demographics. We can't stop it. 1 out of 10 is going to be at a new address next year. And Carla, between your two offices, what is your average gross commission?
About 7,500.
Perfect number. So Carla, without doing too much math, what is 7,500 times 100 houses?
So that's 750. Is that right? Or did I overstate it? I'm not analytical, so I don't know. I have to get my calculator.
Sure. Here's a coaching hint, guys. Always make the customer do the math. If you do the math, they don't believe the number. But if the customer does the math, they get it and they believe it.
Yep. Oh, I guess I was right on that one. 750.
So let's make that number sound even better. There's $750,000 of commissions in your database, Carla. And that money is going to come out. It's not a possible, it's a probable. 10% of our clients are going to move every year. Carla has a database of useful. So in Carla's case, she has 1,000 people, 100 are going to move. There's $750,000 in commissions. Now, that makes my heart patter. How about you guys? In the month of February, we have to call all of our database to find out who's thinking of moving. And the reason is simple. They will tell us in February they're thinking of moving in June. But if we call them in April, they won't tell us they're moving in June. Staying with Carla, why will they tell you in February? It's so funny you should mention that we're thinking of moving in June, But if you call back in April, they won't tell you they're moving in June.
You got me on that one, Steve. I don't know.
Because by April, they've already decided who they're hiring and they're not telling you, are they?
I had a feeling about that.
See, in March, they were thinking about moving in June, so they went on Zillow to see what houses cost in Austin, Texas. And they saved some of their favorite ones, didn't they, Carla?
Mm-hmm.
And what did Zillow do with their name once they saved a property?
Gave him that agent that's paying the big bucks.
They sold their name to 10 agents in Memphis. 10 agents were calling them, and one of them wasn't Carla. So they get confused. And that 7,500 is gone. So we're not at 750, and this 7,500 is gone, and this one. See, they went on to Amazon to look up moving boxes, and Amazon sells their name. They said to Google, Google, how much does it cost to move a 4-bedroom home from Memphis to Austin, Texas? And Google goes, well, the algorithms, you're looking at Austin and you're looking how much it costs to move. Google will sell the name. Our past clients in Sphere don't mean to cheat on us, guys, but because of technology, through their actions, aren't they letting the world know that they're thinking about selling? See, Carla, your past client is saying to somebody next week, Sally, we can't help you with Little League this summer. Oh, why? Bob and I are moving to Austin, Texas. So we're going to be selling the house in June. So we can't do Little League. Oh my gosh, we're sorry to miss you. You know, my mom's a realtor. She only charges 4%. The insurance agent calls. I'm calling to renew your insurance for next year. Oh, I don't need it. We're selling the house. The insurance agent goes, oh, and then he or she has to type into a computer, reason for not re-upping, selling. And what do you think Allstate does with that name? Through technology, our past clients in Sphere are telling the world, we're moving. But we're not involved with that technology. Some of us are on Zillow Flex. Sometimes, and I know this to be true because my clients almost every week tell me, you aren't going to believe that what happened. What? I've got a past client. Zillow Flex is selling me my past client. Zillow Flex is announcing my past client's moving. I have to pay Zillow Flex a referral for my own past client. And they sold it to 8 other realtors in my area. Yeah, that's why in February, we call and listen. I need to identify those people that have a propensity for moving in the next 12 months. So Carla, I know you really well. You're one of the best agents in North America. You keep pretty good information on your clients, yes?
Mm-hmm. Pretty good.
If you were to sell me and my wife a house, and what's my wife's name?
Bernadette.
When you call your past clients, guys, look at the screen. Try to see, is there any reason why they would be the 1 out of 10 moving? So Carla, if I was 65 years old, what am I probably going to do this year?
Downsize or right size, move in
I'm
with your
probably going to
kids.
retire, and then retired people move to Florida,
Mm-hmm.
or they downsize. So if somebody's 65 getting close, is there a pretty good chance I might be that 1 in 10, Carla?
Yep.
I have 4 daughters, which I don't. If I had 4 daughters and my final daughter's a senior in high school, and through calling me over years, because Carla is terrific at this, you learned that my other 3 daughters went to the University of Miami. Where is my 4th daughter probably going to college?
Same. New
And
York.
my parents live in Florida. So my wife and I have a 5-bedroom home. And as of May 20th, when my daughter graduates, we have a 5-bedroom home and no children. Is there a higher chance I'm 1 of the 10, Carla?
Yes.
See, guys, when you call your clients, you should be catching information. So, James, how you doing? Can you take us off mute for a second, James?
Absolutely.
How you doing, man?
Good.
So, James, if you look at Carla, that woman is unimposing. She is a welcome sight, yeah?
Correct.
she walks into our house, if you and I were partners, we'd hire in a minute because look how professional she looks. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You would never use the word creep describing Carla, would you?
I don't believe so, no.
But if you were to call my house and say, Steve, isn't your daughter 17 and a half? You're a creep, aren't you?
Yeah.
See, Carla could say, Steve, isn't Michelle 17, 18 years now? And they'll go, yeah, yeah, yeah. You say it, James. He's going to wonder, why are you keeping track of his daughter's age? So, James, for guys like you and me, we got to make sure we be professional, yeah?
Correct.
So, James, your daughter, Michelle, what is she, 15, 16 now? Say 17.
17.
My God. What is she a junior or a senior?
She's a senior.
See, I know she's a senior and I know she's 17, but see how it doesn't come across wrong, James?
Hmm.
See, all these things matter when you call your past clients, guys. If you're a female and you're calling the husband and you're real friendly with the husband and the wife's a jealous type, you got to be careful. You're not going to be their realtor. Trust me on that. See, so James, when you call a past client and they have young children, with their female children, underestimate their age because that's acceptable. If they're male children, you overestimate because that's what they like to hear. Your son, what's he, 14? No, dad's only 13. Man, they're happy with that. That's a little hint how you keep the conversations going. But guys, look at your database. Try to identify, are these my 1 in 10 based on information? So James, you and I are going to role play and it's going to be easy. I'm going to be the realtor. Ring,
Yeah.
ring, ring.
Hello, this is James.
James Thomas, it's your realtor, Steve Powers. How are you today?
Very good, Steve. How are you doing?
You know, James, having a wonderful day. Thank you for asking. James, how's your wife, Melinda?
She's doing quite well.
Nice. So, did you guys have a good holiday season? Everybody make through good and easy? No issues?
Yeah, we had a wonderful holiday season and everyone's happy.
Good for you. Now, James, as you probably saw from your caller ID, I'm calling you from my real estate cell phone. Mind if I ask you a real estate question?
Sure.
James, you were kind enough to buy your home with us 6 years ago. Now, the average person in this area is moving every 7 years. You and your wife are supposed to move somewhere this year. Where are you going? And stop. Do you guys see how I went into real estate there? Good morning, James Thomas. It's your realtor, Steve Powers. How are you today? We're fine. I'll do that depending on his personality style, depending how much he chatted in the past. We may be on that for a minute or 5. You might be an expressive and you have to tell me about your son for an hour. I'm going to listen. When the conversation gets off of that, I have to do a segue. Anybody know what a segue is? Now, there's the one you ride on. Anybody, you've seen those, yeah?
Yeah, it's not that.
Ironic fact, the inventor of the Segway died on a Segway. He was riding on a mountain, thing got out of control, went off the cliff, died. No kidding. A Segway in this is a transition, a bridge from one topic to another. And if you guys want to learn how to do segues, watch a great comedian. They tell a great joke. People laugh like crazy. They got to get to the next joke. You people are outstanding. How many people in the audience are from out of town? Yeah, did you fly here? Airlines. See, that's a segue. They have to take you from my mother-in-law drew off a cliff to how many people fall on a plane. Segue. You have to practice that transition from talking about them to not awkwardly talking about real estate. And one of the ways that I do it is, as you probably saw from your caller ID, calling you from my real estate cell phone. Mind if I ask you a real estate question? And that one works pretty well. You can take it if you like. I then say, you were kind enough to, and if you use that line, James, whatever I say after I say to you, you were kind enough to, you agree with, because whatever I did, yes, I'm kind. Buy your home with me 8 years ago. The average person is selling their house every 9 years. You're supposed to move somewhere this year. Where are you going? You were kind enough to buy your home 6 years ago. The average person moving every 7. You were kind enough to buy 10 years ago. The average person moving every 11. Whatever number of years you've been in, I add 1. And here's what I hear 1 out of 10 times. Funny you should mention that. It's just demographic tables. So James, you look like the smartest guy on the call. Were you ever in financial planning?
No.
Do you know what an actuary table is?
No, I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
The basic raw determination of it is you have 500 clients in your database that you work with financial planning. They can tell you, give or take 1%, how many are going to die this year and how many plans they have to pay out. They can't tell you exactly who, but they know out of your 500, 64 people will die this year. And they get it 1% off. I mean, it's just the way it goes. James, the average male lives to be how long?
75.
I'll go with that. Means the one of us will be dead before 75. And I'm hoping it's you and you're hoping it's me. But one of the two of us won't be here past 75. This is how it works, guys. It's all just numbers. So study your database, call them all, looking for who's selling. Make the connection to say, hi, how are you? But really, we're looking for the 1 in 10 that are going to move. Then when they tell you they're going to move, identify when they're moving and what is your plan between now and then so they hire us. So by a show of hands, how many people here use an auto dialer? Anybody? So what you want to do with your auto dialer, and Holly, this is what you want to do with your team, is you download your entire calls for the month of February. Then you turn that thing on, go auto dialer, oh, and it just dials. Don't matter who pick up, 1 in 10 is going to sell. I got to talk to them all. So today's February 2nd. If I have 300 people in my database, I'll get through about 100 today and talk to 20. Tomorrow on Friday, it'll get through about 100 and I'll talk to 20. On Monday, I no longer have 300 people. I have 260 and I'll talk to 10. And on Wednesday, I'll dial again and I'll talk to 10 more. And it goes up and down. By the end of February, I've dialed those 300 people and I've talked to about 160. So is it Kay Taylor or K Taylor?
Kim Taylor.
Hi, Kim. I thought your
Hi.
first name was K Taylor, and I'm like, that is a cool name. You know, I got Steve. It's kind of plumber. You know, K Taylor is a good name. You might want to consider that because I'm K Taylor.
Yes.
So Kim, you look like
Yes.
one of the nicest people anybody could ever work with. If I had that smile and that beautiful hair, I would go far. Me, this is why I don't do Zoom when I prospect. If I was you, I'd use it all the time. Why do these 300 people, why do 140 not pick up on you? Over the month of February, where you've tried them 6, 8, 10 times, why are they not picking up on you? And it's not because you have halitosis through the phone. They don't know that.
I would probably say to do with maybe the times that I call, from calling too early. It could be because they don't recognize my number.
Stop right there.
Um,
Guys, I have done this call for years. The only 2 reasons they don't pick up on, number one, they didn't get called at the right time. So K Taylor. Or number 2, they don't have your phone number saved in their phone. Shame on
Yeah.
us for not doing that when we met them, huh?
Yeah.
There's a third reason, K Taylor. So I like K Taylor, so I'm going to call you the whole call.
Okay.
There's a third
Okay.
reason. You got 2 out of 3 and nobody gets 1 out of 3. So honest to God, I think you're perfect. Could you give you the last chance? What's the third reason they don't pick up?
Mm, maybe that I'm not sure. Don't know. why they
It's not
wouldn't pick up.
important as, but it's germane to this. We had the most wonderful car salesman you ever met. And what I mean by that is my wife decides what cars we buy because, again, two guns, all the money, but also she's smarter than me. We finally met a salesperson that treats her correctly as the real buyer. And we bought 18 cars from this guy. I mean, he's just a professional and he treats everybody with dignity. He was dying. I gave him a kidney. So he calls me every 90 days to see if we're ready to buy a new car because I buy lots of cars from him. So Taylor, he calls me every 90 days. I gave him a kidney. You know, there are times when he calls me, I don't pick up. And do you know why I don't pick up? Because I don't need a car. Those 140 people that saw your name 8, 10 times in a month have no real estate need. So they don't pick up.
Yeah.
Don't take it personally, guys. It's a benefit. See, the reason that you want to call them is you want them to see your name 8, 10 times in the month of February because you're imprinting. That's my realtor calling. My wife and I are chatting in the car. I don't like to not talk to my wife. One, she has all my money. Two, she has 2 guns on her at all times. And 3, I really like her. So when I'm talking to my wife, I don't want to talk to anybody else. So when somebody
Yeah.
calls me and I have the fortune to talk to my wife, I'm not stopping to talk to my wife to talk to somebody on the phone. Everybody in the world is less important to me than my wife. So when Issa calls, he's less important than my wife and I don't need a car. I don't pick up. But here's the fun part, Taylor. My wife will say, Sparky, I want to get another Navigator. That's my nickname with her. I said, okay.
Mhm.
That means get me a new Navigator. Because Issa calls me every 60 to 90 days, I don't call Issa. Guess what I wait for?
Issa to call you.
You have to be in the habit of calling them a lot because some of them are thinking the next time my realtor calls, I'll tell her we're thinking about selling. But if you skip calls, don't call them. So the reason they don't pick up, number one, you called them at the wrong time. So throughout the month of February, should we vary the times of the day we call them? Say yes.
Yes, yes.
Number 2, should we make sure that when we do talk to them, our name and phone number is in their phone? So it says Taylor phone.
Yes, yes.
Number 3, if they don't pick up, it's because they don't have a real estate need. It has nothing to do with us. And you got to be okay with that. You don't have halitosis through the phone. Don't take it personally. However, Taylor, you could understand that if I saw your name 6 or 7 times over 3 weeks, would I probably call you to see why you're calling me so much?
Yes.
Mhm.
That's why you
Absolutely.
have to constantly dial them through February because some of them are waiting till they're alone to go, how's the market? I haven't told my wife I'm changing jobs. We need to sell. I was waiting for you to call when I was by myself. I've had all of this, guys. It's a hammer, 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 hammer. Now, there are 28 days in this month of February. It's not a leap year, is it? On the last
is
week,
not.
leave a
No.
message. And for those of you who have an auto dialer, Holly, who has a great team of people, work with your team to make sure that their auto message is acceptable. Okay. It's not, hi, this is your realtor and we sell houses in your area. We have buyers that want to buy in your, see if that's not going to get anywhere. So call me, call Gordon, but leave a powerful message at the end of the month. And Kim, I'll go to your real name. Why do we want to leave a message at the end of the month and not at the very beginning when we first start calling them?
Just so that if we don't get them, that we, if we don't get them the many times that we call, the 8 times that we call, we leave a message at the end of the month to say why we did call those 8
Right.
times.
Why do we
Okay.
not do that at the beginning and then keep calling them?
Because they'll know what we're calling for at the beginning and they just won't pick up.
If my wife dies, call me. You are perfect. Guys, did you get that? If you leave a message and you keep calling, they're never going to pick up because they know why you're calling. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, even more what else?
Should we leave a text message too at the
At
end
the
of
end
the
of the
month?
month, end of the month.
Okay, got it.
Because
Okay.
again, going back to Carla's numbers, she has a $750,000 in this database. We have to identify them in February and then make a plan. How are we going to rub their feet, make sure they're thin and beautiful, make sure they know that we want the job so that Zillow agents don't get in there, that Google doesn't sell their name. They don't get on their HOA phone book, HOA Facebook. Anybody know a good painter? We need to paint the front door to sell the house. And how many realtors live in their HOA Facebook? We have to use the month of February to identify the potential sellers and then individually make a plan to how to make sure that you are their agent. So do you see, guys, why I love the month of February?
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, I worked in an office of 70 agents. February, ghost town. Unless a lender showed up with donuts, there was nobody there because they were waiting for April when the market got better. It's not uncommon in February. I'm looking at $1 million worth of appointments and I have the sellers identified. I've got 125 people that told me they're probably going to sell this year. That's $1 million worth of income. That makes me happy. Yes. So do you see why we need to do this in February? And don't
Mhm.
stretch it to March because Kim, where do you live?
New Jersey,
Nice. What part of New Jersey?
Jersey City.
Nice. I'm doing that in case somebody wants to send you a referral. So we're going to try it again. I work here, and my phone number is. So Kim, where do you live?
Jersey City, New Jersey. I live in Jersey City, New Jersey, and my telephone number is 201-920-2604. Yes.
So I'm not that familiar with Jersey City, although I drive through Jersey as fast as possible when I'm going to New Hampshire. Actually, there's some parts of Jersey that are absolutely awful, but 95% of the state is absolutely gorgeous, right?
Yes. Yes.
Your dandelion, your daffodils start showing up about March, don't they? Next to the highways, do not mow. When those daffodils come up, the phone starts to ring. It's springtime. The buyers are doing it. You start calling in March, you're too late. You see the
Absolutely.
daffodils and you haven't found your past clients in Spirit that are moving, somebody else has, right, Kim?
That's right. And if we get no snow and it's a warm winter, the market even comes sooner.
Guys,
Yeah.
her husband, Greg, I coach early on Wednesday mornings. And Kim is funny because most of the time I'm calling her like 6:32 and she's like, oh, where's Greg? He's in Miami. Oh, hi, Kim. Listen, I can't reach him. Do you want a coaching call? No, I'm coaching somebody. Somebody's paying for somebody. Somebody wake up. I'm not kidding, right, Kim?
Yes.
I will coach anybody. You pay it, I'm coach. I'm talking to somebody. Okay. So guys, let's attack like crazy in February. Don't be lazy. Don't be waiting till May. It's too late. The term is squirrels work all summer for winter. I work all February for the rest of the year. Questions,
Hey,
concerns,
Steve.
issues on this?
Steve, can you give an example of what that voicemail would be like? And can it be like a, something that we could record once and do voicemail drop, or does it need to be personalized per person?
Absolutely fine. Ready? I'm going to enjoy voice drop in the morning. And the reason I do that is because I want to start with good morning. So it identifies that it's this time of the day. Good morning from your realtor, Steve Powers at Lance Tomlin Remax. Guys, just want to let you know it's February. The year is going to be so good. Interest rates have crept down a little bit. The market is so strong. As your real estate agent, there's so much going on. We need to talk. Please call me today. Your realtor, it's Steve Powers, 555-1212, 555-1212. Click. See, it made it sound somewhat personal. I used my name. Holly, that's your company name. So that's how I use the company name because that's how
Yeah.
some know us. I do an overview of excitement. Did you guys hear how excited I was about leaving a message? Remember, the human ear has a 20,000 frequency range. Phones only allow 2,000 to go through. So why I'm going, good morning, it's your realtor, Steve Powers at Lance Tomlin Real Estate. What they hear is, good morning, it's Steve Powers at Lance Tomlin Real Estate. Market's really strong. So if you think you're being way too loud, way too exciting, do a voicemail at your normal pace, then listen to yourself and try to stay away.
Okay,
Make sense?
thank you.
Great question. Can everybody hear me okay?
Mhm.
Okay. So, guys, you have my phone number. I got it. I was a meteorologist. I should be able to do this. Okay. You have my phone number. You have my website. You have Gordon's. Let's attack our list to come from contribution. Let's really solidify our entire year by identifying those people that are probably going to move and then work up a plan so you're in the way. Yeah. On behalf of Gordon and myself and all of Watson Powers clients, thanks for coming. If you need anything, give us a call. Let's go make some money. Bye, Kim. Bye, everybody.